Many women over the age of 60 experience fatigue, mild back pain, or nausea, symptoms that seem harmless but could actually be early signs of a heart attack. And the terrifying truth is, your chance of survival can drop by half within just a few minutes if it's not detected in time. This video will help you recognize the silent but extremely dangerous warning signs, and most importantly, learn how to save yourself when every second could mean the difference between life and death. All of this is based on trusted medical research and recommendations from leading health organizations in the United States. Not every heart attack comes with loud warning signs. Especially in women, the symptoms are often very different from what we expect and can be easily misunderstood. Many do not feel the classic chest pain. Instead, they experience vague symptoms like fatigue, back pain, nausea, or sweating. That is why so many women are misdiagnosed or fail to recognize the danger. A study in the United States found that most women over 45 did not know that shortness of breath or extreme tiredness could be signs of a heart in trouble. One woman shared on Reddit that she only felt unusually tired, had light back pain, and broke into a cold sweat. She assumed it was just the flu, but ended up in the emergency room with a mild heart attack.
The frightening part is that even family members often miss the warning signs. Some mothers simply mention feeling tired or sighing more often in the weeks leading up to a heart attack. If you have ever noticed something like this in someone close to you, take it seriously and help spread awareness. It might save a life. These 7 heart attack signs could save your life or someone you love. Don't ignore them. Because sometimes just a few minutes too late can cost everything. 1. Extreme fatigue after even light activity. Sometimes your body sends clear warning signs, but we brush them off, thinking it's just regular tiredness. One of the most overlooked heart attack signs, especially in women, is an overwhelming sense of exhaustion, even after doing something very simple. People often describe feeling completely drained just walking from the living room to the kitchen. Their legs feel weak, like they can't take another step, and they have to sit down immediately. It's not like they've been running or lifting anything heavy, but their body feels like it just climbed a mountain. This kind of symptom of heart attack is especially common in women and people over 60. Most of the time, they blame it on poor sleep, stress, or overwork. But when this kind of fatigue shows up suddenly, with no clear reason, and happens more than once in a day, it can be a serious heart attack warning sign. In fact, several studies have shown that unusual fatigue is one of the earliest signs in more than 60% of heart attacks that don't follow the typical pattern. No chest pain, no dramatic collapse, just silent, creeping danger. The scary part is that when someone feels this way, they usually choose to rest, not go see a doctor. But in many emergency room cases, patients later say they had felt this kind of exhaustion in the days before the actual attack. So if you or someone you care about suddenly feels this kind of unusual tiredness after light activity, don't ignore it. Listen to your body. Talk to a doctor. Knowing the early warning signs of a heart attack doesn't just help you protect your own health. It can also help you spot trouble in time to protect the people you love. What about you? Have you ever seen someone go through this kind of deep, unexplained fatigue? Share your story. It could make someone else more alert and maybe even save a life. 2. Pain in the upper back, shoulder, or jaw. There's another heart attack warning sign that often catches people off guard. Pain in the upper back, shoulder, or jaw. Most of us chalk it up to sleeping in the wrong position or maybe lifting something heavy earlier in the day.
But a dull ache or sharp pain in these areas, especially if it lasts longer than 15 minutes, can actually be a symptom of a heart attack that your body is desperately trying to alert you to. On health forums, many middle-aged women have shared personal stories of what they thought were just muscle aches, only to later learn they were experiencing early signs of a heart attack. One woman recalled the pain starting between her shoulder blades, then slowly spreading to her neck and jaw. She assumed it was from poor posture while working, but just a few hours later, she was rushed to the ER with a full-blown heart attack. What makes these symptoms so easy to overlook is that they don't show up in the chest, the place most people associate with heart attacks. But according to cardiologists, discomfort radiating to the shoulder, back, or jaw is one of the key heart attack signs in women, especially after age 60. Unlike men, women often don't experience the classic crushing chest pain. Instead, their symptoms of a heart attack might feel more like vague, nagging aches in the upper back or neck. If the pain comes out of nowhere, doesn't change with position, and is accompanied by fatigue, nausea, or cold sweats, don't wait. Many people mistake these as harmless muscle issues when in fact they're silent symptoms of heart attack, subtle but dangerously serious. Learn to recognize the early signs. If something doesn't feel right in your body, trust that instinct and get checked. Your heart might be trying to tell you something. Are you listening? 3. Nausea, slight vomiting, or a bloated stomach. I was told it was just indigestion. 3 hours later, I was rushed to the ER with a blocked artery.
That's how one heart attack survivor described what started as nothing more than a mild discomfort. Feeling a little nauseous, burping, or having a bloated stomach after eating often gets brushed off, especially among older adults who are used to indigestion. But if these symptoms last longer than an hour, show up without a clear reason, or come along with fatigue, shortness of breath, or sudden sweating, don't ignore them. These might actually be symptoms of a heart attack hiding in plain sight. Many doctors have shared that patients sometimes show up with what seems like a simple stomach issue, only to be diagnosed later with a heart attack. That dull ache in the upper belly, a sense of heaviness or nausea that feels like food poisoning could all be heart attack signs, in women especially. This is one big reason why women's symptoms of heart attack are often missed or misdiagnosed. They don't always feel that classic chest pain. Instead, what they get are vague signs that feel more like a stomach bug or a bad meal. If you're feeling discomfort in your abdomen and something just doesn't feel right, listen to your body. The heart doesn't always cry out with crushing pain. Sometimes it whispers with symptoms so quiet they're easy to overlook. But that whisper could be a warning. Coming up next, we'll walk through other surprising signs and symptoms of a heart attack that are often mistaken for something totally normal. If you or someone close to you has ever experienced any of these, don't brush them off. Keep watching.
4. Cold sweat. One of the most dangerous but often overlooked symptoms of a heart attack is breaking out in a cold sweat. Many people have gone through it without ever thinking it could be connected to their heart. They suddenly feel clammy and chilled, even though they don't have a fever and haven't been doing anything strenuous. A 60-year-old woman once shared her story on health. She said one morning, while reading the newspaper, she suddenly started sweating heavily. Her body temperature was normal. She didn't have a cold or the flu. But her face turned pale and she felt lightheaded, almost like she had just come out of a panic attack. Just a few hours later, doctors confirmed she was experiencing a silent heart attack. This kind of cold sweat happens when the body is under serious stress from a lack of oxygen in the blood, usually caused by blocked coronary arteries. The heart struggles to pump blood, and in response, the body releases sweat in an effort to cool down and rebalance itself. The real problem is how easily people ignore this heart attack warning sign. They often blame it on anxiety, stress, or even the weather. Middle-aged people especially tend to dismiss it, assuming it's due to hormonal changes or blood pressure shifts. But cold sweat can actually be one of the earliest symptoms of a heart attack, especially when the heart attack doesn't follow the typical pattern. So if you suddenly start sweating heavily for no clear reason, feel cold, dizzy, or uneasy, do not brush it off. This could be your heart sounding the alarm.
And this is just the beginning. A heart attack in women can show up in even more subtle and confusing ways. Up next, we'll talk about one of the most misunderstood symptoms of heart attack, especially in people over 65. 5. Shortness of breath even at rest. Over the years, I've met many patients who said they felt short of breath while doing the most ordinary things. Some were just sitting and reading a book, watching the evening news, or chatting with their spouse, when suddenly it felt like they had just climbed a long flight of stairs. The truth is, shortness of breath isn't always caused by lung problems. When the heart is struggling and can't pump enough oxygen-rich blood throughout the body, the lungs try to make up for it by speeding up your breathing. That's your body's way of compensating for the lack of oxygen. So don't be too quick to blame it on age or lack of exercise. Sometimes this could be one of the first symptoms of a heart attack. In fact, a U.S. study found that among people hospitalized for heart attacks, nearly 30% had experienced unexplained shortness of breath for hours, even days, before more obvious symptoms like chest pain appeared. What's concerning is that many ignored this heart attack warning sign, thinking it was just fatigue from work or the weather. Women over 60 are especially prone to this kind of symptom, but often don't connect it with heart attack signs in women. That's why if you or a loved one suddenly feels breathless for no clear reason, like no physical exertion or flu, take it seriously. Don't wait for chest pain to take action. Sometimes the first symptom of a heart attack isn't pain at all. It's silent, the silence of your breath. Up next, I'll walk you through another surprising heart attack sign that often gets misunderstood and why it could be your heart's quiet cry for help.
6. Dizziness, lightheadedness, or ringing in the ears. Dizziness, that strange lightheaded feeling when you stand up too fast or skip a meal. Ringing in your ears that comes and goes. Most people over 50 have felt this at some point and usually chalk it up to low blood sugar or just mild dehydration. But here's the thing. These symptoms can also be early heart attack warning signs. When your heart isn't pumping enough blood to your brain, your body reacts. You may lose your balance, feel like the room is spinning, or suddenly feel disoriented. It's not just fatigue or aging. Sometimes it's your heart quietly asking for help. A study in the U.S. found that around 14% of people over 60 who were later hospitalized for heart attacks had experienced prolonged dizziness in the hours or days beforehand. And it didn't only happen after exercise. It showed up while resting, driving, or just walking around the house. That's what makes it dangerous. These symptoms of a heart attack are subtle. No sharp pain, no dramatic collapse. So people ignore them. Delay getting checked, and sometimes that delay changes everything. If you've ever felt ringing in your ears along with dizziness or like you couldn't stay balanced even while sitting or lying down, don't brush it off. It might not be stressful. It might not be age. It could be your heart struggling to keep up. What is a heart attack, really? It's not always a dramatic moment. Sometimes it starts quietly with the kind of symptoms you wouldn't expect. Especially in women, heart attack signs can look very different. No chest pain, just fatigue, nausea, or yes, even dizziness.
So if you've been feeling off like this more than once a day, or the feeling lasts more than a few minutes, take it seriously. One moment of ignoring these signs could lead to something far worse. When your heart's rhythm is out of balance, everything else in your body is at risk too. Have you ever felt sudden dizziness or ringing in your ears for no clear reason? Share your experience in the comments. Your story could help someone else recognize a symptom of heart attack before it's too late. 7. A racing, pounding heartbeat that feels like drums in your chest. As we enter middle age, many people start to notice sudden episodes where their heart seems to race out of nowhere. It feels like drums beating inside your chest with no clear reason, no fear, no stress, just a surge of heart palpitations. Some brush it off, thinking it's just strong coffee, poor sleep, or a bit of anxiety. But if this feeling keeps showing up, alongside random worry, restlessness, or chronic insomnia, it could be one of the early symptoms of a heart attack.
In the US, millions of people visit doctors every year complaining about a racing heartbeat or unexplained heart flutters. For women over 60 especially, these heart attack signs in women often get mistaken for anxiety or stress. But in many cases, they're actually heart attack warning signs, sometimes even signs of a silent heart attack that slips by unnoticed. According to the American Heart Association, over 65% of women never experience chest pain during a heart attack. Instead, they report irregular heartbeat, pressure in the neck or shoulders, fatigue, and shortness of breath. That's why symptoms of a heart attack in women can go undiagnosed for too long, delaying treatment when every second matters.
If you're feeling anxious without reason and your heart keeps racing or your breathing becomes harder to control, don't assume it's just midlife stress. These might be your body's quiet cry for help. Pay attention to these changes. Regularly checking your heart rate and blood pressure could be the simple step that protects your heart in the long run. Did you know that up to 65% of women are misdiagnosed during a heart attack? Why does this happen? I'll explain in just a moment. When it comes to heart attack signs, women don't always experience the same warning signs as men. For many, the signs are subtle, just a lingering sense of fatigue, a little nausea, a vague tightness in the chest, or a hard-to-explain shortness of breath. Because these symptoms can feel so mild or get mistaken for stress, indigestion, or just a fleeting wave of anxiety, a lot of women don't seek medical help right away. But this delay can be dangerous. In fact, a U.S. study found that women are twice as likely as men to be misdiagnosed when they're having a heart attack. One of the reasons is that many women tend to push through discomforts and often don't express pain the same way men do. They're used to enduring things quietly, which means they may not speak up until it's too late. Even doctors can miss the signs, especially when the symptoms aren't clearly described. A dull ache in the back that lasts for hours, an odd discomfort that spreads to the jaw or neck, or something as simple as a rapid irregular heartbeat can all be early symptoms of a heart attack. These may seem minor at the moment, but they're not. They're some of the most commonly overlooked heart attack warning signs in women. That's why recognizing heart attack signs in women is so critical. If you feel something's off, especially if it's not going away, don't wait. Ask the question, could this be a symptom of a heart attack? Trusting your instincts and getting checked could make all the difference.
If you think you might be having a heart attack, don't wait. The most important thing is to act immediately. Don't sit around hoping the symptoms of a heart attack will go away. Even a few minutes of delay can lead to serious heart damage. Call 911 right away so emergency services can get to you fast. Some people try to drive themselves to the hospital, but that's incredibly risky. You could lose consciousness on the way. If you have aspirin at home and you're not allergic, take it as instructed. It may help limit heart muscle damage while you're waiting for help. Also, try to write down the symptoms of the heart attack you're feeling, like chest pain, shortness of breath, nausea, or fatigue, and when they started. This info can help doctors treat you more effectively. To be better prepared, print out a checklist of warning signs and keep it somewhere visible, like your fridge or living room. Simple things like that can make a big difference. In the next part, I'll share some small habits that can help you prevent heart attacks, starting today. Preventing a heart attack doesn't require big changes, just a few small habits done consistently. Get your heart checked every year after age 60. Take a 20 to 30-minute walk each day. Cut back on salt, monitor your blood pressure and cholesterol, manage stress, and get enough sleep. These simple steps strengthen your heart day by day before any serious signs appear. Want an easier way to get started? I've already made a detailed video just for you. Check it out on my channel. A woman once said, "If I had known sooner, maybe my mom wouldn't have passed away at just 62. Sometimes the right information at the right time can save someone you love. If you found this video helpful, please like it, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss other important insights on heart health, especially for those over 60.
Would you like me to make a video about what to do if you suspect a heart attack, or how to stay healthy after 60? Drop a comment below. I'm always listening. Thanks for watching until the end. In the next video, I'll be sharing heart-friendly diet tips, how to lower your risk of stroke, and common heart disease myths that many people over 50 still believe. Don't miss it, because health is the most valuable gift we can give.